Paris, you are welcome here. For me, it was equal parts heaven and hell. Only hell because it was as if I was an infant. I didn't speak the language, I didn't know the culture, and nobody really had time to babysit me. But in those moments that I was able to communicate, that I was able to open a dialogue, in those moments, I experienced magic. Usually starting with the simple phrase, bonjour, the simple word that says, I am trying. The phrase that says, I have learned at least the simple, most polite of greetings, to at least know that I am addressing you. The phrase that says, I am meeting you halfway, please help me. In those moments that I was able to communicate, those were the moments that I experienced the true magic of Paris, France. The magic, the culture, the food. Oh God, the food.
Bienvenue à Paris and welcome to Paris. I hope you're gonna enjoy your stay.
That first night, I was so excited to be there. I was so excited to have finally touched down in the city of love, the place that Audrey Hepburn herself said was always a good idea. And not to mention the place that didn't require a visa for US tourists. But alas, it was late, I was jet-lagged, and I was tired. So I turned in for the night. The next day was supposed to be my real adventure, and one of the main reasons that I was in Paris in the first place. This is Rochelle, one of the two main reasons that I was actually in Paris. The first one being that I had booked a modeling gig with Rochelle. Rochelle is a photographer who makes her money taking photos. She takes her photos of models, she does tourist photos, and she makes quite a bit of money around Fashion Week. Needless to say, I was quite pleased with her work. I might continue this modeling gig.
I love photography. I discovered photography with my mother. I was 13. My mother was a photographer, and now she doesn't make photo anymore, but voila. And I had my first analog camera. I was 13, and with negatives, and we were in laboratories to develop the negatives, etc. I began like this, and practicing. I began to dream about being photographer, and I made my life around photography. Another.
Did you say Paris lends itself to photography?
Yes, Paris for me it's the best city of the world to make photography because it's so nice. With the architecture is fantastic architecture, and the story is very how to say heavy.
And you said you make a lot of money around Fashion Week.
Yes, a lot of. I make money, yes.
Rochelle made me look good, but once she was done, she was gone. She was a ghost, and I was lost and alone in the city of Paris. But I'll admit, there are worse places to be lost.
Well, without my guide, I am utterly lost on the streets of Paris, searching for Wi-Fi. I have no idea what to do or where to go, so I'm looking for a restaurant. So nearly immediately after I filmed that last section, I stumbled upon the Paris Municipal Wi-Fi.
Somewhat shockingly, modeling is actually quite exhausting at the end of the day. So I turned in for the night that night and just absorbed the beauty of Paris. But that night, I tried something just for myself. I had French champagne. Now when I say champagne, I mean real champagne. But there's no footage, because this was a private moment between me and God. The moment I ate this cheese and drank this champagne, my brain went somewhere else. It was the equivalent of tasting Shangri-La. I didn't know food could taste like this. The next day, I hit a snag that put quite a dent in my plans, and I'm not gonna lie, was incredibly frustrating. The first time that I felt the emotion of anger or any negative emotion whatsoever since I landed in Paris. The second main reason I was in Paris was to take a cooking class from a professional chef. However, when I arrived and tried to film with my phone, I was given a very nasty surprise.
Well, we've hit a huge, kind of enormous snag in the plans here. Apparently, our chef, the person who I am taking these cooking classes from, is the host of her own show on a local TV network. Therefore, she is not allowed to make a filmed appearance, which means that the whole highlight of this trip, the whole point and purpose, I won't be able to film at all. I'll be able to film me cooking and preparing food, but I will not be able to film our host or the chef that I am learning from. So enjoy the mystery, folks. So it seems like something common of Paris is that the moment a guided tour ends, your tour guide is a ghost. And if you don't speak at least a little bit of French, you're screwed. This is the second day I've gotten lost in Paris after a tour guide has kind of disappeared on me. Luckily, there is a lot of free Wi-Fi throughout the city, and when certain phone providers tell you that their data is supposed to work in Europe, don't trust them. Do not trust them. Because what they will not tell you is that there are unlockable packages in your data, and international roaming charges will bankrupt you.
But all was not lost, and I had finally made it to what would become the highlight of the trip.
Well, after a whole lot of frustration, I made it to the Louvre. I'm finally here. I'm going to take a look at the works of the masters, and maybe today it will be salvaged. I'm still a little frustrated about earlier today and what happened with the chef, who ended up being a famous chef, and I kind of understand now that I'm out of it and I'm no longer, in the middle of the experience, that this was not set up ahead of time. And with her being a major network personality, she's not allowed to make on-film appearances.
But soon enough it didn't matter, because the works of the masters were in front of me. Thousands of years of history, I was there. I was finally there, staring at the works of Michelangelo, staring at Greek history, staring at the works of Johannes Vermeer. And let's not forget Leonardo da Vinci. I stood in awe, on the verge of tears, in front of thousands of years of art and history from cultures all over the world. From paintings to sculptures to pottery, everything you could imagine from ancient history was here at this museum. Paintings, sculptures, even pieces of 1,000-year-old homes. It was here at the Louvre, and it was overwhelming. And for you who I know has been watching silently, on the other side of the world, I was still thinking about you.